The fashion industry is changing. Consumers are becoming more aware of the impact their clothes have on the planet. This shift in thinking is driving a global movement towards sustainable fashion. Sustainable fashion is no longer a niche market. It is a growing force in the industry. More and more brands are adopting sustainable practices. Consumers are demanding eco-friendly and ethical options. This essay will explore the global trends shaping sustainable fashion in 2024. We will delve into the diverse approaches different regions are taking to create a more responsible and stylish future. From innovative materials to circular business models, the industry is undergoing a significant transformation. Join us as we uncover the exciting developments in sustainable fashion across the globe. Sustainable fashion is more than just a passing trend. It is a movement that is gaining momentum and reshaping the fashion industry as we know it. It represents a fundamental shift in how we design, produce, and consume clothing, emphasizing the importance of environmental stewardship and social responsibility. At its core, sustainable fashion aims to minimize the negative impact of the fashion industry on the environment and society. This means rethinking every step of the fashion life cycle, from raw material sourcing to end-of-life disposal. This involves addressing a wide range of issues, from the use of harmful chemicals and excessive water consumption to unfair labor practices and exploitative wages. The goal is to create a more equitable and environmentally friendly industry. One key aspect of sustainable fashion is the use of eco-friendly materials. These materials are chosen for their lower environmental impact and their ability to be sustainably sourced. This includes organic cotton, recycled fibers, and innovative new fabrics made from sustainable sources like bamboo or pineapple leaves. These alternatives are not only better for the planet but also often offer unique textures and qualities. These materials reduce the reliance on conventional cotton, which requires large amounts of water and pesticides to grow. By choosing sustainable materials, we can significantly reduce the environmental footprint of our clothing. They also lessen the demand for synthetic fabrics derived from fossil fuels, which contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. This shift is crucial in the fight against climate change. Beyond materials, sustainable fashion encompasses ethical labor practices throughout the supply chain. This ensures that the people who make our clothes are treated with dignity and respect. This means ensuring fair wages, safe working conditions, and respect for the rights of garment workers. Ethical labor practices are a cornerstone of the sustainable fashion movement. It also involves promoting transparency and traceability in the supply chain, allowing consumers to make informed choices about the clothes they buy. Knowing where and how our clothes are made empowers us to support better practices. Ultimately, sustainable fashion is about creating a system that values quality over quantity, durability over disposability, and ethics over profits. It encourages us to invest in pieces that will last and to cherish the craftsmanship behind them. It is about shifting away from the fast fashion model of constant consumption and towards a more mindful and responsible approach to fashion. By embracing sustainable fashion, we can make a positive impact on the world and enjoy clothing that tells a meaningful story. Consumer awareness of sustainable fashion is growing rapidly worldwide. This shift is not just a trend, but a significant movement towards more responsible consumption. People are becoming increasingly conscious of the environmental and social impacts of their clothing choices. They are starting to question the true cost of their fashion. This shift in values is driving demand for sustainable fashion options. More consumers are seeking out brands that prioritize ethical production and environmental stewardship. Consumers are no longer content with simply buying what looks good. They are looking for transparency and accountability from the brands they support. They want to know where their clothes come from, how they are made, and what impact they have on the planet. This curiosity is leading to more informed purchasing decisions. Several factors contribute to this growing awareness. Education and information are key drivers in this transformation. Documentaries and media reports have exposed the negative consequences of the fast fashion industry, from pollution and waste to worker exploitation. These revelations have sparked a demand for change. Social media platforms have also played a role, allowing consumers to connect with sustainable fashion brands and influencers who promote ethical and eco-friendly clothing. This digital engagement is fostering a community of conscious consumers. This increased awareness is translating into concrete action. People are rethinking their shopping habits and making more sustainable choices. Consumers are buying less, buying better, and seeking out sustainable alternatives. They are prioritizing quality over quantity and longevity over disposability. They are supporting brands that align with their values and are willing to pay a premium for ethically produced, eco-friendly clothing. This support is crucial for the growth of sustainable fashion. This shift in consumer behavior is sending a clear message to the fashion industry. Sustainability is no longer optional, it's essential. Brands must adapt or risk being left behind. The growing demand for sustainable fashion is a global phenomenon. It transcends borders and cultures, uniting people in a common cause. While some regions are leading the way in terms of consumer awareness and market maturity, others are quickly catching up. The momentum is building everywhere. In the following sections, we will explore the unique trends and challenges shaping the sustainable fashion landscape in different parts of the world. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this transformative movement. Section 4. Sustainable Fashion in North America, leading the charge in innovation. North America, particularly the United States and Canada, is at the forefront of the sustainable fashion movement. The region boasts a vibrant ecosystem of sustainable fashion brands, innovative startups, and conscious consumers. Several factors contribute to North America's leadership in sustainable fashion. One is the high concentration of large apparel companies headquartered in the region. Many of these companies are facing increasing pressure from consumers and investors to adopt more sustainable practices. As a result, they are investing in research and development, exploring new materials, and implementing more responsible manufacturing processes. Another factor is the strong entrepreneurial spirit in North America. The region has a long history of innovation, and this extends to the fashion industry. Startups and independent designers are constantly pushing the boundaries of sustainable fashion, experimenting with new materials, and developing innovative business models. Consumers in North America are also playing a key role in driving the sustainable fashion movement. They are increasingly aware of the environmental and social impacts of their clothing choices and are demanding more sustainable options. This consumer demand is creating a favorable market for sustainable fashion brands and is encouraging traditional brands to adopt more responsible practices. Section 5. European approaches to sustainable fashion, circularity, and policy. Europe is another major hub for sustainable fashion, with a strong emphasis on circularity and policy-driven initiatives. The European Union has been particularly proactive in promoting sustainable practices in the fashion industry. It has implemented a range of policies and regulations aimed at reducing the environmental impact of textile production and consumption. One key area of focus is circular fashion. This approach aims to keep clothing in use for as long as possible, reducing waste and minimizing the need for new resources. This involves promoting initiatives such as clothing rental, repair, and resale, as well as developing innovative recycling technologies to create new garments from old ones. European brands are also leading the way in terms of transparency and traceability. Many brands are implementing systems to track their supply chains and provide consumers with information about the origin, production methods, and environmental impact of their clothing. This increased transparency allows consumers to make more informed choices and holds brands accountable for their practices. Consumer awareness of sustainable fashion is also high in Europe. This is partly due to the region's long history of environmental activism and social responsibility. Consumers are increasingly demanding sustainable options and are willing to support brands that align with their values. Section 6. Sustainable Fashion in Asia, Balancing Tradition and Trends. Asia, being the world's largest continent and home to a diverse range of cultures and economies, presents a complex and evolving landscape for sustainable fashion. The region's vastness and diversity mean that sustainable fashion practices can vary widely from one country to another, influenced by local traditions, economic conditions, and cultural values. While the region faces significant challenges related to fast fashion and its environmental consequences, it also boasts a rich tradition of textile craftsmanship and a growing awareness of sustainable practices. The environmental impact of fast fashion is particularly severe in Asia, where many countries serve as major production hubs for global brands. One notable trend in Asia is the revival of traditional textile techniques and natural dyes. These age-old methods are not only environmentally friendly, but also produce unique and high-quality fabrics that are highly valued in the fashion industry. Countries like India, China, and Japan have a long history of using natural dyes and sustainable materials like silk, hemp, and bamboo in their textile production. These materials are not only sustainable but also offer a range of textures and qualities that are difficult to replicate with synthetic alternatives. These traditional practices are now being rediscovered and reinterpreted by a new generation of designers who are seeking to create contemporary fashion with a low environmental impact. This fusion of old and new is leading to innovative designs that honor cultural heritage while meeting modern sustainability standards. Another trend is the rise of sustainable fast fashion brands. These brands are making it possible for consumers to enjoy trendy and affordable clothing without compromising on ethical and environmental standards. These brands offer trendy and affordable clothing while also prioritizing ethical sourcing and responsible manufacturing processes. They are setting new standards in the industry by proving that fashion can be both stylish and sustainable. They cater to the demands of young, fashion-conscious consumers who are looking for sustainable alternatives to conventional fast fashion brands. This demographic is increasingly aware of the environmental and social impact of their purchasing decisions and is driving demand for more responsible fashion options. However, Asia also faces significant challenges in its journey towards a more sustainable fashion industry. The rapid growth of the fashion industry in the region has led to numerous environmental and social issues that need to be addressed. The region is home to many of the world's largest garment factories, and issues such as labor exploitation, unsafe working conditions, and environmental pollution are still prevalent in many parts of the supply chain. These challenges highlight the need for systemic change and greater accountability within the industry. Addressing these challenges requires collaboration between governments, brands, and consumers to promote ethical sourcing, fair labor practices, and responsible manufacturing. By working together, stakeholders can create a more sustainable and equitable fashion industry that benefits everyone involved.